What's going on, guys? Today I am here to talk about a recent clip I saw of a streamer named BenDaDonnn who was talking about having heard some tracks off of Iceman, supposedly. I only say supposedly in terms of, like, I mean, I don't know if they're officially on the project or maybe just being kind of tossed around. I do believe he heard them, and how he told Drake that he needed to scrap some of them because this needs to be like a bars album. Like, he doesn't want club bangers or whatever other types of songs, I guess, that he was hearing from it, and not necessarily the bars heavy stuff that he thinks it should have been. And I just think that this is a perfect encapsulation of some of the reasons why music just falls flat a lot lately, and that is trying to, shape it to fit the audience rather than letting it just speak for itself and allowing the audience to find it. Because I understand that with all the noise in the world and everything going on, as far as just like all the different avenues of information, it's just so much all at once that they want to cut through the noise. They want to be able to, speak to those people whose For You page or algorithm might not push that content to them. But let's be honest, like, is that how a great album is made? Is trying to shape it to be able to do that or reach people that maybe don't have the intention to listen to it in the first place? I think that will inevitably probably just lead to an inadequate project that no one's happy with. It's not what the artist really wanted in the first place. The fans don't want it, and now nobody is happy. Where, as opposed to just, making the music you want to make and staying true to your vision for the project, I think that will always be what leads to the greatest music coming out, is not including what is everyone going to think about this in your process, making it for you. I think J. Cole's album is a pretty good example of that, The Fall Off. I think that was J. Cole being unapologetically him. Not to say maybe more recent events didn't help shape it a little bit, but J. Cole wasn't making the project for people that were already gonna maybe not like it anyway. He made what he liked, what he knew his audience would come to kind of expect from him, and like the type of music that J. Cole is known for, essentially. And as long as you're even just being true to, because like I said, like the music J. Cole is known for, like, let's be real, that album sounded like music J. Cole would make. I don't even think that always has to even be the goal. Like, look at Yachty with Let's Start Here. The odds of that being as critically acclaimed as it was, I don't know. I feel like that honestly defied expectations because it's something so different. And not only that, but it was, Yachty doing it as well, which, like, people are going to try and make fun just because it would be kind of an easy setup for people. But look what it ended up doing. It's probably his most appreciated album, like, widely. Like, that's usually what I see people talking about when they, like, are pointing at specific projects that he's done that they want more of or that they really enjoyed. It's Let's Start Here. So it doesn't even have to be music that you're known for or whatever. Just being true to yourself will always result in just a better overall product. So I don't know why. I hope to God he's not listening to BenDaDonn's opinion, because, I mean, let's be real. I mean, you're not a musician, and if you are, because I think he's got some stuff on Spotify, whatever, you're not someone who should be giving Drake advice. Like, most people probably should not be giving Drake advice because they don't even understand, like, what they're saying. Is specifically like, oh, I want a bars album. Well, you know what bars do? They don't sell. And I don't think that selling should be always your main focus, but in this specific context, selling is just reaching a wider audience. And if he wants to get, like, the greater good kind of, back with him a little bit, and less of the negative talk from, like, the Kendrick beef and all that stuff that's sort of still carried with him, which he'll never be able to forever to be able to get rid of, granted. But at the very least, if you come with an album that people just can't deny, they're going to be a lot less likely to even be thinking about that or bringing it up. And I think that is probably Drake's goal. So in terms of that, like a bars heavy album, that's something I would appreciate. There are so many artists that drop some of the greatest bars, and they don't sell well commercially for the most part. depending on the deal that they're in, maybe they end up getting better splits and the money just looks better for them. But like overall, like they're not topping Billboard. And once again, that's not everyone's goal with music. So if it's not, fine. But let's be real, this is Drake. Drake wants to go number one. Drake wants to be the guy again, not the guy. And then there's like still a portion of people that are, hating on him. And me personally, I'm always just going to be there for the music. If I don't like an artist, it's usually probably for something, a little bit more out of their control or just something I personally don't like. And I never really hold it against them. But like with Drake, clearly there are some people that absolutely hate him. And then like, ever since the Kendrick stuff, they feel like, okay, now I have like full permission to like let that out. And that's kind of like the popular opinion. So people are much more ready to do so with whatever he might do. And for me, I'm like, if Kendrick drops a good song, like during that beef, like if he drops a good song, awesome. If Drake drops a good song, awesome. That's all I'm there for. So for this one, like I honestly, as long as the music's good, I will listen. That's all I care about. This is more so to just talk about the broader discussion of how streamers are potentially affecting artists and what they're doing. And like I said earlier, it's just never probably going to end up making a better project, or even if that isn't what ends up happening, I also don't think it'll end up getting you more mass appeal either. You're just going to have everyone sort of unhappy with the finished result. So yeah, I hope to God this guy does not actually end up like making an impact on Drake. Like, oh, maybe I should listen to BenDaDonnn, because like, who are you? Like, truly, you are not Doctor. You're like not someone of with a background or experience that might actually legitimately have a point with what their advice or criticisms might be. So like if that was the case, it'd be completely different. But this random streamer, and I mean, I'm sure everyone will, if anyone watches this video, will tell me about how actually BenDaDonn's done X, Y, and Z. So he actually does kind of know what he's talking about. Whatever, man. At the end of the day, you're a streamer. You're not the person that should be really helping direct the direction of this album. And I hope that this, honestly, like, because you have so many streamers or rappers kind of going into streaming. You got Kid Cudi and you got Wiz Khalifa, and they're currently kind of just doing more of like a peek into their process rather than being these like platforms that like an Aiden Ross or someone might be doing. But I hope that that kind of starts to change a bit, because I just think that if you had another artist in that seat, everything about the situation would just be better off, because their audience would probably be music people that want good music. So that already helps instead of just the main, masses. Because like that's always going to be like, well, what have you done for me lately? Combined with like, well, what's everyone else thinking / saying / doing? Because, that's what the masses do. They kind of go with the general consensus. So hopefully if that were to occur, like a major artist, like kind of taking over in one of those spots, it would be just beneficial for everyone involved. Hopefully the artist would want to go on the stream. How many times have you seen that where you can tell the artist just doesn't even care? They were just told like, you got to hop on this dude's stream to help, push the project. And again, it's just like, you can tell like usually by their energy that they do not care. They probably barely know who this person even is, unless it's Kai Cenat himself, which obviously not going to happen anytime soon from what it looks like. So yeah, those are just kind of my thoughts. I just find it so ridiculous that these are the people somewhat being catered to. Like, I understand wanting to make music for people, but when it comes to compromising your vision, your art, like that's just where it should stop, because that's not going to result in the best product. And once again, you're trying to make something for people who are probably never going to be your audience either way. So you might as well make something that's actually true to you, because people appreciate that more. Like, and people being even those same people, they'd respect that more than a crappy project you put out trying to hopefully please what you thought everybody wanted, and then you're not even really you're just doing it because you think that's what people want. People will not respect that. So not that Drake needs my advice either. I'm not gonna act like that. But just like why are streamers giving their opinions like this on things that they just don't really have the expertise to speak on? That's just kind of crazy to me. But let me know what you guys think. Is BenDaDonnn actually some music guru and I'm looking like an idiot right now? I don't think he is. I've only ever seen him like within streaming stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you later.